All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Nathan Scott. You're taking a look at the 24-hour temperature difference, and I just walked outside, and it's no joke. You could probably walk if you're in the sun without a coat this afternoon. We are 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday here in the capital city, 16 degrees warmer in Pine Bluff. We start off this morning into the teens and 20s, but we're already approaching 50 degrees. In Arkadelphia, it is 50 in Camden, 49 in Monticello, 47 in Little Rock, 46 in Clinton. So everybody has warmed up nicely. There's a little bit of a wind, so it feels like 42. No big deal. Feels like 38 in Russellville. And highs today, they will continue to climb up. Upper 40s to lower 50s can be expected all throughout central Arkansas. Probably stuck into the 30s, though, in Harrison because you'll see more clouds. There is a weak frontal boundary headed in our direction tonight. It will bring us clouds and some slightly cooler numbers on your Friday. Then going into the weekend, we're talking about more chance of not only clouds, but also the chance of rain. I'll have more on that complete forecast coming up.
Nathan, thank you. A Pine Bluff pantry is opening its doors to some 400 employees struggling without pay amid the Jefferson County shutdown. In under an hour, those affected will have access to fresh groceries and hot meals. Preparations for the event have been underway this week. Among the hundreds of people expected to receive help are children who frequently cross the minds of those offering support.
The kids at home, they're hungry. And I'm saying, how can we go to our homes, eat our food, get our checks, but they don't?
The Arkansas Food Bank has supplied resources to Pine Bluff's pantry. It will open today at 1 o'clock, running until supplies last. All Jefferson County employees are welcomed. A heavily anti-abortion supported bill, popular in surrounding states, is gaining recognition in Arkansas. The new piece of law proposing a video be watched in classrooms, and some say it's educational while others argue it's misleading. TV 11's Rebecca Brown has the report.
3 weeks in 1 day, just 22 days after fertilization.
Meet Baby Olivia. That is the name of the video created by an anti-abortion group called Live Action. Now, some Arkansas lawmakers are working to have the video shown in Arkansas classrooms to teach kids as young as 5th grade about the fertilization process.
It's a great way for them to see a little 3-minute video once a year to see this is how a baby develops in utero. So it's really what it's all about, just the fascination of the human body and how it develops.
It's a proposal that has sparked debate on both sides and not just here in Arkansas.
It's kind of disguised as health education and biology, but it's actually pushing and promoting some material from an extremist group that is known for some misinformation tactics and some disinformation tactics around pregnancy and childbirth.
Republican State Representative Mary Bentley is behind the Baby Olivia Act. She says the goal is to show kids the real human biology as it relates to pregnancy and human development inside a womb.
I want our kids to get the truth, right? We want scientific truth. We want things out there that aren't accurate. So it's completely been through the ringer, as we can say, to make sure it's completely accurate. It's a beautiful video that just shows from conception to birth of what the baby goes through each week.
But Jenny Diaz, a reproductive rights advocate, says this bill does the opposite and pushes more of a political agenda instead of educating the real maternal health problems we face here in Arkansas.
How does one get pregnant? Talking about the ways we can avoid getting pregnant, the complications of pregnancy. This bill sidelines all of those issues and these critical topics just to promote this really one-sided anti-choice agenda. It doesn't actually address these other issues facing teens today.
In Little Rock, Rebecca Brown, THV 11 News.
Well, classes have resumed at Mills Middle School following the tragic loss of a teacher. We previously reported that Mr. Detrian Ireland was discovered unresponsive yesterday morning. His death remains under investigation. As for students and staff, counselors are offering a range of support throughout the school day.
We've been going through that process. I did not enter any of the classrooms. Our counselors were the ones who went in and spoke with the students. For his team that he worked with, his English Language Arts Department team, definitely was hard on them when we let them know first this morning.
We're working with Pulaski County deputies throughout the investigation and will provide new updates as they're made available. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is working an investigation on a Jacksonville robbery. Reports indicate a disturbance took place at the Lucky 107 convenience store near Highway 107. It was revealed to be an encounter between the store clerk and a person since ruled as the suspect. The altercation resulted in both of them suffering gunshot wounds. The two remain hospitalized. However, when we learn more on their conditions, we will provide you with the new details. Turning now to Jefferson County, where Pine Bluff police are piecing together an 18-year-old's death. Earlier this week, Patrick Coleman Jr. was shot close to Highway 65. Anyone with information on the homicide that could help the investigation is encouraged to come forward to police. The president's first few days in office has consisted of fierce enforcement of new policies. He's now imposing the use of military force to aid security at the U.S. border. Natalie Brand shares the latest.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration is considering sending as many as 10,000 U.S. troops to the southern border and potentially using military bases to hold migrants awaiting deportation. The Pentagon has already said around 1,500 troops have begun to deploy to help secure the U.S.-Mexico border.
This was a gross miscarriage of common sense to allow people to come in.
Stepped-up enforcement operations across the country have led to nearly 500 undocumented migrant arrests.
And they will be sent home. And those flights are already underway this morning.
Community leaders are warning migrants to be prepared.
If you are deported, you should already have paperwork set so we know where your children need to go. You need to have those legal documents, those powers of attorneys.
A federal judge in Seattle hears arguments today on lawsuits challenging President Trump's executive order seeking to end birthright citizenship. While here on Capitol Hill, Trump allies are working to double down with new legislation.
His historic executive order to end birthright citizenship marks a critical step forward, and now with the Birthright Citizenship Act of 2025, we can solidify these reforms into lasting law.
Attorneys general from more than 20 states suing to block changing birthright citizenship argue it's settled law protected by the Constitution's 14th Amendment. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Some stores are doubling back on the use of self-checkout. More on what led to their decision at 12:18.
It's going to be a chilly start to your Friday. The wind chills, what it feels like, will be back down into the teens, but then we could say goodbye to that Arctic, frigid, bitterly cold air as the wind chills climb up into the upper 20s to lower 30s. I mentioned the chance of rain arriving for this weekend. I'll have details on that next.